Alafia, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Namaste. We have a beautiful Sabbath here today to share. And first, I'm going to start off with sparking, lighting this incense. The Sabbath candle finished, the white candle. So we have the Madama candle, the 7 colors. And the incense I'm lighting, I said this in my previous video, however, my previous video was taken down. I tried my best to follow the guidelines of YouTube, but it's been hard, but I've been doing my best. But this is frankincense and myrrh, and why I choose and love to use frankincense and myrrh incense is because it's so healing, soothing. Oh, and the smell is the best smell out of all the incenses I ever use. And I love to say again that this is a beautiful Sabbath that we have, and I'm glad that we can share this Sabbath. And from this Sabbath, I'm going to be reading from Mark because I've been loving Mark and the scripture of Mark. Let me first put on some High John. We have High John, the Conqueror oil. No, this is perfume. Here, smell it. It smells so good. It smells so good. Oh, for the incense, Zion, Lunar Saya. Who are you? Okay. Let's do our incense. Come on, get your incense. Not on your tail. Let's incense our aura, our auras, our energies, our being, our body, to cleanse ourselves, to release all energy that we need to release. Because, as I've said before, it's always good to release. Not holding anything, not holding any stagnancy, anything that is blocking you, that's causing you to feel like, just to feel stagnant, to feel blocked, to feel low energy, low vibes. Just to release any emotions or anything that's built up. Yeah. I'm gonna open up this. I'm going to open up with the scripture from Mark 2, verse 26. How he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar, the high priest, and did eat the shewbread, which is not lawful to eat but for the priests, and gave him also to them which were with him. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. Why I choose to read that, and why, because somebody said that when I read the verses, they don't think that I personalize it and say what it means to me, but I do. And why I choose to include this one for the Sabbath is because, how I've said before, is if you do the Sabbath, or if you've heard of the Sabbath, there are certain rules that you have to follow. Like, you can't cook, you can't clean, you can't buy, you can't work. You have to spend your time in the presence of the Most High, and definitely to follow the commandments, and glorify the Most High, glorify being in the presence of the Lord. But sometimes there could be so much rules and like you could be, if you start out your Sabbath, you could be like a stickler to those rules. But this scripture is showing us that instead of just going by all the rules, going by what everybody is saying, you can personalize the Sabbath, just like how you can personalize the commandments. You can personalize the scripture. You can personalize your connection with the Most High. And the Orishas and other powers, but definitely the Most High. And why I choose to talk about this is because it's Sabbath right now. And when I started out my Sabbath, it was really hard for me because I didn't really know what I could and what I couldn't do. But as I did read scriptures and as I kept going on with my Sabbath, I was able to get a closer connection with the Most High and able to see that I can do certain things that I thought I couldn't do, and I stopped doing certain things that I thought that I needed to do. All because I started to personalize my Sabbath and my connection with the Sabbath instead of just doing what everybody else is saying. And that's how society will have you. That's how society can have you sometimes, because of just thinking that you have to go by what everybody is telling you to do and just all the rules of a certain thing. But instead, once you spend your time with something and you get enough time doing it, you'll be able to not perfect it, however, master it in a way for yourself that you can use it to do what's best for you and what's best for your energy. Because not everybody does everything the same way. Me, I can do my yoga, but sometimes I choose to do it with a mat. Sometimes I choose not to do it with a mat. It's just your preference, and your opinion, basically. And that's why I say opinions are important, and to never get sidetracked, to never get thrown off from opinions or a difference of opinions, because everybody has them. And just because someone has a different opinion, that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, basically. Also, Mark chapter 2, verse 23, it says, "And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day, and his disciples as they went, and his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of the corn. And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful?" And basically that's saying, why are they plucking the corn on the Sabbath day? That's not lawful. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. But Eshu and his disciples, they needed that food. And basically Eshu's answer is, why would he not, Jesus' answer is, why would he not take the food if he needs the food, if he needs to eat the food for him and his disciples? And also he goes on to say, the Sabbath is made for man, and the man for the Sabbath, and not the other way around. So that's showing you, therefore, to personalize your Sabbath and not just do what the Pharisees or the scribes and the Sadducees are saying and telling you to do, or criticizing you or critiquing you to do, because they think that you should be doing it in a different way. But instead you're doing it in the way that you're called to by the Most High, because you're being led by your intuition, and the energies around you and nature and the forces around you, instead of just doing what a society is telling you to do or what everyone else is telling you to do. And I'm just glad, even though I made a few videos, and I was talking about this on my other videos, but even though they were taken down, I don't mind talking about this again, because being able to spread this message is important for me. Because I remember when I started out on my Sabbath and even on my spiritual journey, that I didn't have a lot of guidance, and that's why I had to do a lot of research on my own and a lot of things on my own to get to the point where I'm at on my journey and the path that I'm at on my path, to be able to flow on my journey instead of just feeling stagnant, or instead of feeling anxiety or just hate or miserableness or misery or just sadness or depression. But instead I learned how to healthily and positively cope with certain things. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Everyone's still on their journey. I'm still on my journey too. But finding better ways and better resources and sources and outlets for yourself for coping is better than having any source of harmful coping mechanism. Well, I wouldn't even say if it's harmful, it's not a coping mechanism. So yeah, this is just a beautiful Sabbath, and I'm glad to be able to share this energy. We have a sunset here. It's the ending of our Sabbath, and I'm glad to share these messages and the energies, and I'm going to keep putting out these videos as I can, because I read the YouTube guidelines and I tried my best to follow them. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but we'll see how this video goes and how it turns out, and we'll just take it as it goes, because even if my videos keep getting deleted, I'm just going to keep trying, because scripture tells me that all things are possible with the Most High, with God. Elodumare, Olodumare, Alafia, Aboye, Aboru, Aboye. And yeah, let me end the video with Zion. He's hiding this time. He's been a bit camera shy. I'm not sure why he's been a bit camera shy. I'm not sure why. What? Say Odabo. Say Odabo. Say Odabo. Odabo. Say Odabo, Zion. Come. Say it. Look, say it to the camera. We had a lovely Sabbath, sharing in the presence of the Most High. Right, Zion? Right, Zion? Right, Lunisai, the Prince Abu Simba? I forgot last time. It's probably why my video got deleted. I left out Simba, but I can't leave that out this time. No, no, no. He loves playing with my pages. Oh,